If you are triggered by people's success, you put your hand on your head and your chest and say, I am a witch.
Oh no! I didn't say that.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Olushewa and I'm navigating life in my 20s and having fun while I'm at it. So if you're not too busy, join me. Today I have here my friend, my Shayla. I have here my friend. Friend, do you want to introduce yourself?
Do it. Do the
This
honors.
is Adeyinka Babalala. And
Applause.
Confetti.
anyway, this is Yinka. Yinka has been my friend for
Brain freeze.
how many years?
You can't
9 years. Yinka has been my friend for 9 years.
Oh my God,
now.
it's been that
and
long.
she's such a sweet Agbiru.
What?
Is that you already have it out? That's something nice. Anyway, she's
Wow.
such a sweet girl, you know. And
Interesting.
fun fact, Yinka was actually the main person that pushed me to start this channel this year. Do you know that if you had not told me to post that shot, I probably would not have started. That's why I said I didn't want to tell you.
Sowing a seed.
Yeah, so Yinka was the driving force, the major driving force behind me starting.
Please don't
this
forget to
channel.
tell them that Yinka has still not started her own channel.
She's going to start her own channel and I'll be there to support her too. So straight into the video. Today we're talking about failing at adulthood. I know we all can somewhat relate to the feeling of not knowing what you should be doing. Okay, you're an adult now. People say that you are grown now and you just don't know. You don't feel like you know how to make decisions, right? It's like, oh, so my life is actually in my hands. And also it can be a very one kind stage, and sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you are down, sometimes you just feel like you're not doing enough, you feel like you're not sufficient, you're not enough. And yeah, it's just a very one kind place to be.
What do you mean by one kind?
It's just a very it's not a good place to be in, basically. And so we just want to try in our own little way to boost your confidence today. So the first thing we'll be talking about is the fear of missing out. I'm going to ask you, have you ever felt like you are missing out on something, like people are doing something, you're not there yet? Maybe you're looking at somebody and the person's like, oh, I'm 25 years old, I've made 7 figures, and you're like, hey God, when is my own time coming? Or like they're like, oh, I'm making money in dollars. I know you're a big girl, Sha, but you know,
Please. Can you?
oh, like they're just saying one thing that you just feel like, God, when am I going to be able to relate to this?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've felt it multiple times, like more times than I can count, because obviously everything is good. There's social media, like we're seeing a lot of things, and especially as it relates to like my field of work, you see people saying this and that, and sometimes you might get triggered and you feel like, oh my God, when is it going to be my turn? Like, and then there's also the good FOMO, actually, the one that actually wants you to do better when you are seeing someone, instead of you feeling
Anxiety
triggered by someone's post, like doing well, and they are in their 20s, they are making bank, they are doing all these things, and you're like, okay, I want this too, and then it drives you to actually work
Do better.
in your own, work on yourself in your own little way. So I feel like it's not entirely bad like that. There's the good one, so the one that makes you like invest. You see people investing and then you go and invest yourself, and you're like, okay,
I
need to do my research. Yeah, before this is not investing advice or financial.
Do your research.
Yeah,
Okay,
but you see people
investing
investing in things, and you're like, oh, okay, how can I do this? You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be in your 30s or in your 40s, and you're like, oh, people were investing them, but I didn't want to join in on the FOMO gang, so I didn't invest. That's not a good thing. That's not something to be flexing about. If you see people doing something good and you want to be like them, or you're not creating that separation between them and you, and you're like, okay, this person is 25 and they are killing it and they are doing all this. I'm also 25, but I can't be like that because excuse. Or you see people doing good and you're like, oh, I can do this too as well. So let me
aspire to I like it.
Yeah, so there's a good one, and then there's the one where you're like, oh my God, when is it really going to be me? Like the one you just said now. I remember, if you remember correctly, in 2023, like I almost did not want to celebrate my birthday because I was so in my head all the time. I was like, why am I not there yet? But I had to do a lot of work on myself to really like reframe my mindset, Shada. Everybody's on their own journey. Like there's timelines. I can't be comparing my own chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 56. The math is not mathing. So just have to like look at it and be like, I'm happy for you, but I'll get there when it's my own time, right?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So that's just how I see it.
Even me, I'm picking one or two things from this now because honestly, I feel like I got to a point where I'm just like, You see all this day in the life of a 23-year-old, day in the life of a 24-year-old, I'm like, hey, God, I beg. These people say they are not even my mates at this point.
Yeah,
they are big. So like, what's going on? But yeah, there actually can be the good part that just inspires you to do better. Like, okay, this person does not have two heads, like our parents will say, right? Like,
and there's also choice. Like, you know that, okay, this person is choosing to be who they are every day, and that's how they are getting what they are doing. So me being here and saying, oh, when is it going to be me, just saying when is it going to be me is not going to get me where I want to go. I have to actually be the thing that I want to be. I realize that nobody is forcing me to be in the place where I'm missing out. I can actually be
it actually all just boils down to choice, because honestly, once you choose that I want to do better and you work towards it, of course, because that choice is what will kind of like be your pushing force that will be like, you have chosen to do this and you need to like work towards it. Anyway, thank you, Yinka. So the second thing that I want to talk about is imposter syndrome, and this is just because I want us to touch on a few things, because in this generation there's like a lot of things that bother people, especially within like our age range. And imposter syndrome is something that I find that I have even felt, and I know a lot of people feel it when we were in school, for example, and it's like, these people are also doing the same Aki that I'm doing. Like, why is my own? Am I sure that I'm supposed to be here? When somebody asks you, okay, what are you studying? And say, architecture. I'm like, I'm an architect. And it's like, am I even deserving of that title? And then even coming out of school, getting into tech, and like, there were some days where they'll be like, oh, you work in tech, or somebody asked me, what do you do? I'm like, I work in tech. And they're like, oh, tech 6. And I'm like, like, you know, where you're just like, I don't know if I'm very deserving of that title, or if I measure up to what I should be measuring up to in terms of that title, or in terms of that space where you are in. I mean, it's different for everybody, right? So if I want to know, like, have you felt that way before, and how do you navigate it?
Literally every day there's imposter syndrome, because how do I explain this? We're always wanting more at every stage in our life. Like, there's always more to reach, because where we are right now is just the beginning. It is only the beginning. So that space in between, like where you are right now and where you want to go to, you always feel like there's a gap. So every day you're operating as an imposter. And there's something I learned and it's called like be, do, have. So in order to create any reality that you want for yourself, you have to first be the person that can create that reality. Then do the things that person does, and then you eventually have that. But people always have it backwards. It's always like regular people, they think they have to have something before they can do this, and then they become this. So like, you want to be rich, you think, oh, I have to have money first, and then I'll be able to do things that rich people do, and then I'll become a rich person. Meanwhile, you have to first be in the identity of a rich person. Stop! You have to first be and embody the identity of a rich person, and then you do things. You have to act as if, right? So every time you're acting as if you feel like an imposter, like you're acting like your future self that is not here yet, but you can see the vision in your head. You know that. But
where do we draw the line? Because you know there's acting as what you want to be, and then there's also living a fake life.
No, wait. I'm not saying act as if in terms of go and borrow someone else's wig or borrow somebody's car because you want to act like you own the car. But I mean, in the mindset, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you dress, the way you live your life. How do you wake up? Like your daily routine, your daily, the things you do daily, how you talk to yourself. Even the self-talk matters, because you can't, your $1 million self is not going to be questioning if she can write this code, right? She's just going to know that, okay, I can do this, and if I can't do it, and if I'm unable to do it right now, I have the resources to get someone else to do it for me, because I'm the one calling the shots, right? So you just want to be in that energy of like your baddest, highest level self all the time. So
I like it.
imposter syndrome is like a normal thing, a very normal thing, because you always have one place you want to get to that you feel like it's not here yet. So you'll be,
and for you to start putting yourself in that space, you definitely feel like, oh, I'm not this.
yeah,
But own it.
owning it, because a lot of people feel like it's something wrong, like, oh, I feel like an imposter, and then they let it cripple them, and then they're not working. But if you feel like, oh, I'm an imposter, but I'm getting there, like,
Because I've actually heard
I'm
people
going there.
say, oh, like they will see job opportunities, or even general opportunities, doesn't have to be a job, and then they'll be like, maybe the description is saying something, you know, that maybe you don't have 10 out of 10, but you know that you have 8, a solid 8. So when you're supposed to be putting yourself out, you're now feeling like, I don't measure up, or like, what if I get there and I'm not able to do what they require of this person in this role, you know, all those kind of things. And so it just ends up crippling you. You are not moving forward, you are not growing, you are just still in that same circle, because you are just telling yourself that you have not gotten there yet. I can't. Exactly, like she said, creating excuses for the things that you ought to see. I've had people that
and then
I've seen people that the audacity by which they apply to jobs, you'll be shook.
it's not even applying to, aside applying, the way they even do with their life.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
know that
saying, like
this
in a
person-
corporate setting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The audacity, they'll see roles, and then they'll be like, somebody that maybe just finished a graduate training program a year ago, and you are seeing senior product manager, and you are applying to it.
Because in the person's head,
Audacity.
I'm a senior.
And honestly, even if you don't get the job, right, I feel like the experience broadens your knowledge, because you will be exposed to things that they expect from somebody in a senior role, and you can now firsthand see the things that you should be working on to get to that place that you want to get to.
And
so
there's really nothing that anybody cannot learn in this digital age.
exactly.
Plus,
Can learn anything.
most people think, oh, you need to have all the knowledge in the world before you can tell yourself that, oh, I'm good at this thing. But you don't necessarily need to have it. There's always going to be somebody who knows more than you.
Yeah.
All you have to know is enough to be able to provide a transformation for someone, or a transformation in the company that you work at. So if you can get that job done, then hello, imposter.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Yinka. By the way, her other name is Soft Life CEO.
That's me. I'm a Soft Life CEO.
Soft Life CEO. So she knows about this thing. That's why I wanted to do this video with her, because I already initially showed this video myself, but I just felt like I needed that extra, pizzazz, that spice and all. So yeah, the next thing we'll be talking about is social media comparisons, because I feel like all these things still boils down sometimes to the whole fear of missing out thing. Is you are seeing people on social media doing one thing or the other, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're like, oh, I've not even done one. The whole imposter syndrome too. Sometimes you just feel crippled when you want to put yourself out there. So there's a lot that just goes on within social media, right, that I feel like can make or mar a person. And don't get me wrong, social media is great. The access to information that we have right now, if our parents had it, their lives would be a lot better, right?
We'll have a lot more $10 and
yes, we'll have a lot more. Honestly, we have a lot of access to information. We have a lot of things, because there are even some non-ethical ways that people are now making money. I don't want to say ethical, because I feel like ethical is not the word, but not, before. Not usual, yeah. Because before, our parents would be like, oh, my daughter is going to school, she's going to be a doctor, she's going to be a lawyer, or engineer, or
architect.
Or architect, all of those things, right? So now people are making money by being a TikToker. Like, you ask somebody, what do you do? I'm a TikToker.
But that's very ethical.
Yeah, it's ethical. That's why I said I feel like that's the wrong word. But like the unusual ways that people are making money. People are selling digital products, digital marketers. People are making giant strides that our parents didn't even have the opportunity to take,
or the audacity,
because now the Gen Zs, if there's something they have, audacity, right? So it's like there are very, very good parts of social media, but at the same time, there could be the downsides. There could be the information overload, because today people are saying tech is booming, people are making money in tech, and you're like, okay, let me join tech. Tomorrow they say, oh, if you're a healthcare worker, you can't travel anywhere. You're like, maybe I should go and do nursing. So like sometimes that information overload can also stress people out. Then the social media comparison, you're seeing somebody who has taken a particular path, and then because of that you're like, oh, maybe I should take this path. But sometimes it doesn't always work for you, because at the end of the day, there are rich doctors, there are not so rich doctors, there are rich influencers, there are upcoming influencers. You understand, like in every sphere, in every job or whatever that it is that you are doing, there will always be the people that are making a lot of money, and the people who are not even making anything, who are maybe just coming up, or maybe they have even done it the wrong way and it's not working out for them. So how do you navigate that? How do you know where to draw the line between the good and the not so good? Where to like filter your thoughts, or where to just be like, whoa, I'm shutting social media out for the day, like I'm overstimulated, let me just rest.
Yeah, of course, doom scrolling is not an ideal situation for anybody. So I feel like it still relates to the FOMO talk that we had earlier, where it's all about choice and conscious awareness. Like, you're aware of what you want, you know that deep within you, this is what aligns with my own life path. Like, and you are allowed to experiment for as long as if you want to try. For me, I've done since the time I left architecture, I've done affiliate marketing, I've done digital marketing, I've left it, I've tried interior design again, and I'm like, let me see if I actually do like this part of architecture. And I'm like, I still don't like it. And I went back to my digital marketing, and all of like this is everybody's first time living.
Yeah.
So we all have to like live our lives like fully and actually figure out what our soul really wants. Like, I feel like there are people, you said it earlier that there are some people, there are rich doctors, and then there are some not so good doctors. The rich doctors, they are probably operating in alignment. Like, they know that, okay, I have a deeper reason for doing this.
Yeah.
I want to do this for myself. I love this. And people who are probably not so rich doing it, the people who just, maybe their parents force them to do it and they're not really enjoying what they're doing, or they don't fully believe that
this is what they should be doing.
Yeah, or they have their soul wants something else. Like, there's that disconnect. But when your mind and your soul are in perfect harmony, there's nothing you cannot do. So I feel like when you see, if you see things on social media and you're like, oh, comparing yourself, you just give yourself grace and know that you're on your own journey. The other person is on their own journey as well, and you get to decide how your life goes. If you say you want to do forex today, do it, and tomorrow you change your mind and you say you are not doing forex, it is your life. I remember when I first started posting online about Facebook ads and all this stuff, and then there was a time when we had to do exams. I stopped posting for a while. For a while I was beating myself, like that concept of giving yourself grace was so lost on me. Like, I was beating myself up, like, oh my god, I should have posted, I stopped posting, and then I was like, what the fuck is my page? Like, I choose to, but at the same time, that's not you like taking other people's trust for granted and all of that. It's not to say that you should just ghost on people. It's also something that I had to work on internally. And if you can also get the right support system, like join communities that will help you grow. I'm at a loss for words, but like grow, but support you in those times where you see people and you're like accountable. Oh, this person is making $100,000 every month. I'm doing the same thing. What's wrong with me? You can talk to mentors, talk to coaches, be in a community of people who are on the same journey as you are, and they can just hold space for you and be like, you are doing it, you are getting there. Just relax, breathe, and don't just, everything you see on social media should either trigger or inspire you. If it is not inspiring you, then you need to look deep down, because you shouldn't be triggered by someone else's successes and then start comparing yourself to them.
If you are triggered by people's successes, put your hand on your head and your chest and say, I am a witch.
Oh no. I didn't say that.
Put your hand on your chest and say, I am a witch, because why are you triggered?
No.
Honestly, no. Obviously, there are some times where you are just like, oh, not like you hate the person, of course, envy is not a good thing. Jealousy is not a good thing. But of course, I can relate to the fact that you just see somebody and you're like, oh God, I beg, swipe Jared. Now only you. Is it only you?
And you can even mute people's if somebody's post is triggering you and you know you don't want to do the work yet, just mute, unfollow. There are buttons there to help you. Like unfollow, mute. I don't want to see this person's posts.
I've actually learned a lot about those kind of things, or restrictions on my social media. Like if there are people that I feel like, first of all, we need to understand that social media is a facade. It's not necessarily a real place. I'm not saying that everything you see is a lie, but trust me, a good number is a lie. So there are people who have positioned themselves in such a way that you think that they're living a better life than you are. But if you know what's going on in the background, you might be doing far better than they are. But that's not the point, right? We all want to aspire to success, which is a good thing. So if you feel like there's a page that it doesn't sit well with you, or you're not just feeling the content, it's okay to mute, it's okay to unfollow, it's okay to even block if you don't want to see them on your explore. Honestly, it's okay. Me, I've learned, even there are some times where I'm just like, social media is right now is overstimulating me, and I just deactivate my account.
That's extreme,
honestly.
But I also think that's because you don't use social media for work. If majority of your clients come from socials, you learn to like, okay, balance. I want to work on, like, why do you're giving away your power to somebody random on the internet to make me feel.
It's not because of a particular person. No, maybe sometimes. So there are some days, maybe, we've had weeks like that. You come on the internet and then you are just seeing bad news. Like sometimes you're just seeing bad news. That in your one space. Bad news or the other. You go to Instablog, there's something going on, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't follow all those. I don't need like that. Sometimes you just want to protect your energy or protect your space, your peace. And I'm just like, I just need to take a break from social media for a while, and it might not even last long. Could be a day. Knowing me, it never actually lasts long. It could be a day, but that one day, it's like, okay, yes, my mind is now back to the place where I can come and just be scrolling. And again, like she said, I don't use social media for work, so that could also be the difference. She uses social media for work, so she knows that. So
I understand what you mean by that, because I do that. You remember, I do that with my Snapchat a lot. I'm like, I'm not doing Snapchat this week because that app is addicting. Like, I can be on Snap for a long time, but I know, okay, when I'm on Snap, that doesn't mean that work is not getting done, because like, after all, I do have people helping me with some stuff, so work is still going on. But when I really need to work and Snap is distracting me, it's off my phone.
Sometimes you just need to be in a particular space, and social media doesn't fit in. But anyway, all I'm saying from this is, like she said, give yourself grace. In that first video that I said I shot, honestly, that was one thing that I emphasized on. Give yourself grace. A lot of people are too hard on themselves, and it's a different thing. There's a difference between trying to drive yourself, trying to push yourself to do better, and being hard on yourself. Sometimes you're just hard on yourself. Fine, you started something, maybe you didn't see it through, you want to go back to it, go back to it. Don't beat yourself up about it, like, oh, I didn't even see this thing through, I'm a failure. Stand up, get up.
Failure is even necessary. Like, if you don't fail, how will you know what's going to work?
I always say that your 20s, in fact 30s, let's not even
get back up,
put people in a box. A lot of people don't know what they are doing until like they are well into their middle age. Like, a lot of people are just taking it one day at a time. You see people who are having kids and getting married, you even ask them, how are you doing? Friend,
when are you giving me God baby?
Please don't take this girl seriously. Anyway, I should be asking you, sis.
Please.
Anyway, so you see people and then you ask them, like, how are you coping with 2 children, 3 children? They're like, I'm just winging it. The truth is, everybody's just winging it. Like, this is the first time we've all been to Earth, right? You don't have work experience. You
have to go out there and get it.
Yeah, you're just taking it one day at a time. So give yourself grace.
And people forget that. They forget this. Even in invest, I know you're into I invest and all this stuff. Compounding, like if you get this experience interest, and everything stacks, before you know, you're like hot cake because of your experience in one background, your experience in another background, and you can bring, even till now in what I do, I still use some of the things that I learned while in architecture school in creating new programs, because you have to look for the concept, there's the case study, there's all these things, and it's like I
This
did
is
this shit.
Baksaki.
Right, but it's something I'm applying it in something that I enjoy, because it's very important that you find something that you love. Otherwise, how do you want to wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you want to wake up feeling
I think
excited or
mentioned this
Oh my
before,
God.
because if this is actually the time to figure it out, so don't feel like you're failing. Fine, a lot of people might be moving faster than you are, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you are your number one priority. What makes you happy, what makes you grow, what makes you bloom should be your number one priority. And you don't want to be comparing yourself to people who are on a different path than you. So ultimately, this is the time. If you are not failing now, is it in your 50s you want to fail?
and you can still actually fail in your 50s.
Exactly, you cannot. It's
Yeah.
still okay, to be honest. You can. We are not always going to get things right. That's the truth. I know we still have parents or uncles who have made maybe bad investment choices, or who have done
first
one
time
thing.
living too.
It's their first time living too. So sometimes I actually look at my mom and I'm like, she's actually just a girl. And this is somebody who is in her 50s, because last nobody came with a manual
On how to raise kids, and then look at you. Oh my God, she did a good job.
She tried.
Exactly.
Let's give her that one.
Mrs. Olajide.
So
You're
like,
bad.
I was like, okay, at the end of the day, and as much as you're giving yourself grace, also give people grace. Please don't judge people too quickly. I mean, there are some people that you should clearly run away from, but
But I still feel you shouldn't judge. Like,
yeah, don't judge. No, there are some red flags like in
but
people.
you can just leave it be. Like, that's your journey, and I'm moving on.
Sure, that's why I said leave
We
them
listen,
alone.
we don't judge.
We listen, we don't judge. But like, obviously, it's not everybody you want to be letting into your inner space.
Yeah.
Like I always say, Jesus had the 12. He also had the 7. He also had the 3. So he also had the 1.
There's layers in
so
every
there's
layer.
layers. Have your
Inner circle.
I'm not saying you should not. I think it's even the time to make friends, network, build relationships with people. That's also good, because it will come in handy. Whatever you are doing, it will come in handy. You don't know when you'll be able to use those relationships. And I'm not saying make relationships with
Just to
people
use
simply
them.
because you want to use them, because I see a lot of that. Like people will be doing
Use your
mama,
head.
mama on TikTok. Mama, please. Mama, like,
What are you
why?
doing?
Your mother is at home. You this ungrateful child. Your mother is at home. Please stop that nonsense in this year. Let's be real with each other, right?
Not the mama
Don't be friends with people simply because you have something you want to take from them.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has to be.
symbiotic.
Yes, it has to be. There's something you're also bringing into that relationship, and the person is also bringing something into that relationship. Any relationship that there's no value, there's nothing.
Gonna die.
And any relationship that is only you that is taking, at this point, you are a bed bug.
leech.
At this point, you are a bed bug. Okay.
Composure. Very demure.
Anyway. So yes, fix up, please. You don't want to be a pest. Please don't be living off of people. Your value could be different from the other person's value. It's obviously not going to be the same. But just know that at least this person knows that if they need this particular thing, they can come to me, right? And honestly, that's enough. You can't be everything to everybody. So that's enough. Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of this video. Any parting words?
Parting words. Guys, subscribe to my friend's YouTube channel. Let her inspire me to start mine. Let her keep her motivated, please. Just watch this video, like, share, send to your friends and family, send to your entire village. Let all the people in your village come and learn. Right? Because she's not just doing come with me to Ibadan village or complex. She's actually putting in effort to actually bring value to this channel. And that's not to say that, okay, if you just bring value, you're going to expect people to just come. So that's why we're asking you to,
we're begging, we're pleading.
Aside asking you, we also work on our strategies, but you can help us in the little way that you can. If you feel like you gain value from this conversation.
I need a consultation. So you already say we'll work on our strategy. Love it.
Don't worry.
My strategy queen.
If you feel like you gain anything that you can take away from this video to actually go and apply in your actual life, then the Olushewa channel is yours to call a home.
Exactly.
So subscribe, like, share with your friends, family, everybody. People you know in
Even
their
your
20s.
enemies, share with them.
That person you know that
Can
needs to
bless
fix
their
up.
lives.
That person you know that needs to fix up. You can like share it and be like, please come
follow
on. You don't
this
want to
channel.
say it that please give yourself grace. Please stop comparing. You know if you say it or you said it and said it and said it, and you're starting to sound like a broken record, and you just want the person to hear it from somebody else, then you can share this channel to the person and just sow a seed in someone's life today.
What you say.
Right?
Also, if you have any other extra tips, you could leave a comment. as
Yeah, and you
well.
can share your experiences in the comment below. I'm always in our comment section.
You people see that
reading.
she's already getting ready for her own YouTube.
Yeah, I'm always in our comments.
Ginger, my girl. People should also ginger her like, oh yeah, Yinka, you can do this. You can.
I
do
know I can do this, but let me just create that capacity first. Like I need space to do other things first. But just share your experiences in the comment section. We'd love to read them. And I love you. Bye.
Bye.